You're watching Shani Speaks Now.
What's good, beautiful people? It's your girl Shani here, your little big sis, and I am so glad that we're here on another Friday. That means a weekend is on the horizon. And welcome to Always Keep the Faith Fridays. For all of my faith fam, welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here. And for anyone who's not a part of the faith fam yet, but needs to be, I hope that you'll subscribe. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, those of you who already know what time it is when you see me on Always Keep the Faith Fridays, your girl tries to get you through your work week to Friday and going into the weekend with a little gem, a little motivation, a little something, something to encourage you and put a smile on your face, hopefully, going into your weekend. Because look, I love a Friday, I love a weekend. Yes, I know, all the other days of the week are important too, but come on, Friday and the weekend's where it's at. So I shared in the last episode called I Just Can't, and if you haven't checked that out, make sure you do, how sometimes there are challenges and things that happen in life where you literally just can't. You can't fake the funk, you just have to allow it to happen and take place. And I shared that I would share a little bit about that, and that is what I'm gonna do in today's episode. But today's title is called Deferred Desires. And it really comes down to, have you ever had something that you've really wanted, hope for, dream for, and then you receive it and it's like, whoop, I can't believe this is actually happening, and then it's gone before you can even really celebrate. It's gone. However, not everything is always just gone. Sometimes it's just deferred. And to defer something just means that it's been postponed, it's been delayed. For those of you who have ever had school loans, you know when they defer a payment, you holding on to it, but don't do that too long because they add interest. I know, neither here nor there, but I just want to make sure I make that point. But ultimately, when a desire is deferred, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not something that's going to happen for you. Maybe it's just something that's postponed for a little bit. So, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so those of you that follow me on social media, and those of you that just know me, know that I had a milestone birthday early this year, back in April, the best year of the month, but I'm not gonna go into that. And it was a milestone birthday, so it was just a huge deal for me, especially coming off of surgery and finally getting back into recovery mode and feeling good about myself. I wanted to do this big photo shoot, and look, let me tell you, your girl, Hey, body roll. Your girl was felt, okay? I was feeling myself. I was so excited. I got my hair done, nails done, everything did. I was excited about the month, excited about my birthday, just excited about everything that was to come to pass. However, what I didn't know in the midst of all this excitement, and when I was taking some of these sexy pictures, which I will share right here, is that I was pregnant. I had no clue. In fact, the whole first couple of episodes of this year in the month of April, I was pregnant in every single one of those episodes. And what made it so crazy is, for those of you that know that I've had a struggle and a journey with infertility after having fibroids and endometriosis and having that surgery, is I thought that I was gonna have to do something more. Even after my surgery, I thought that me and my husband were gonna have to look into an option of doing an IUI or possibly IVF or some other fertility treatment. So when I found out that I was pregnant, which was at the beginning of April, and I was actually pregnant throughout the month of March and had no clue, I was just floored, shocked, because I really didn't expect it. I thought, okay, I had my surgery. We had already had procedures scheduled for, the end of April. I'm just gonna live it up, enjoy my birthday, and then get ready to have this procedure. And God did it. He gave me one of the greatest desires of my heart, which at this point in my life is to be a mom. I've lived so much of my life, single before, then got married. Me and my husband have enjoyed our marriage, and now we want to expand our family. And I was just like, Lord, finally. And then in my birthday month, before my birthday, that was one of my greatest gifts. So one of my friends asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I said, girl, there's not a lot of things that I want or need. The only thing that I want for this particular birthday is just to be pregnant. But only God can give that to me. And I kind of said that low-key flippantly because, it takes a lot for that to take place. But he gave me my heart's desire, and I was pregnant, so excited. I literally celebrated all month long, went to Disney and went to Epcot and Animal Kingdom for a part of my birthday, celebrated with friends. It was just it was just the most exhilarating time. I can't even describe it. Just the thought of finally being a mommy when it's something that I had desired for such a long time, I'm still just like the glee of it. As you can see in my face, just so very excited. And then at the very end of the month of April, right before the week prior to Mother's Day, we found out that we lost our baby. And I had a miscarriage. We went to the doctor for our first appointment. We were finally gonna see the ultrasound. I had been, seeing my body change, and my stomach was swelling and chest was swelling, and everything seemed like it was already starting to show. And when we went and had our sonogram, they couldn't find a heartbeat. And I could see my baby right there on the screen, but there was no heartbeat. And I was so heartbroken and so devastated because it was something that I desired, and just like that, it was gone. Like, that was the setback that kept me from being able to be here in front of you all on YouTube, because as much as I tried to keep pushing, as much as I wanted to keep creating, after that happened, I couldn't fake the funk. It was such a severe loss, and just this feeling of depression and this feeling of emptiness. I know that I've had other friends and people that I know who have gone through this experience, and I've always had sympathy for them. But now I can have empathy, and it's one of those things that unless you've experienced it, you really have no idea how it feels. To know that there's something growing inside of you and literally sense it. You're seeing your body change, and then all of a sudden, like that, it's gone. The emptiness, I don't know how to put it in words, and I'm trying my hardest to. And I think what's the hardest part is when you desired it and it's gone, and then you have to go through what seems like the most heinous experience to then expel that child because they can no longer be within you. I think that's the hard part, is knowing that you have a desire of something, and then before you can even celebrate it, it's gone. Now, I know for a lot of people, topics about fibroids, endometriosis, infertility, miscarriage is typically private. And I get that, I understand that, and I respect that, and sometimes can be uncomfortable for people to talk about. For whatever reason, I just really feel somewhat of a charge and also a freedom in sharing my story, because I know that I'm not the only one. Matter of fact, 1 in 4 pregnancies, or 25% of pregnancies, end in miscarriage, especially in the first or second trimesters. So it's a sobering thing that no one talks about. And just off the top of my head, when I was just thinking about the people in the past that I know who have experienced, there was like 10 women that I could just think easily that have gone through this. So it's something that happens. It's something that's going to continue to happen. I'm not the first one. And while I wish I was the last one, I know that I won't be. And it's something that's important to talk about, because a lot of times when you don't talk about these things, again, it brings shame. It is a huge trauma. It's something that people, swallow or stuff down. And I found that there is blessings sometimes in being open. Getting back to deferred desires, what do you do when the thing that you have desired most in the moment from God, He gives it to you, and then just like that, He takes it away? Well, today I want to share 3 things that I think can help when you have a deferred desire. And also, I want to share after that something specifically for women who may have gone through a miscarriage, on how I've coped with losing my baby, and hopefully will be something that you will help, or will be able to help you, I should say, in coping with your loss. But first, how to deal with deferred desires. So number 1 in dealing with a deferred desire, and this is something, whether it be a deferred desire or maybe it's just something that you've lost in general that I think can be helpful, is acknowledge the hurt, pain, and disappointment. I was devastated, and I went through all the moments of grief, shock and unbelief. There were some mornings where for the first couple weeks, I would wake up in the morning and just start crying because I would almost have to like go to sleep, wake up and remember that this really happened and have to remind myself like, no, Shani, like you really did lose your baby. The baby's no longer there. Like this really did happen to you. I kept it real with God. I had angry moments. I shouted, I screamed, I cried. I did all the things. But I think acknowledging it and being real about the hurt and pain you feel is a huge step in being able to get over whatever it is as far as the pain and to deal with whatever the grief is, or maybe just whatever the issue is. Because if you're not real about it and you just kind of roll it under the rug or pretend it didn't happen, then there's no area for you to be able to heal and there's no place for you to grow and move forward. So that's number 2. This one may be a little bit more difficult, but hopefully it's not if you are able to find some trusted people. But share your pain with those you trust and get the support you may need in the moment, even if it's just one person. You know, for me, initially it was my spouse because we went through this together and we both were feeling pain and we weren't experiencing the pain in the same way. For me, it was also a physical pain. For him, it was probably more of an emotional pain and also watching me go through my pain and not being able to do anything about it. But find that one person. Find that family member, find that trusted friend, or if you don't feel it's someone that you know and trust, get a therapist, a pastor, someone. But share that pain and that grief or that hurt with someone. Because sometimes just being able to express it and being able to get it out can make a world of difference in just acknowledging that what happened or what took place really took place. And the third thing, remember times of overcoming pain in the past and remain faithful and optimistic. Now, this may be harder because in the moment, all you can think of is the pain you're having in that moment. You're not really trying to acknowledge any other pain that you've had and how you've gotten over it. But I promise that over time, it can happen. I've had to really think about all the things that I've gone through and how God has been faithful. For me, I haven't had to go that far because, to be honest, I've been dealing with infertility issues since last year when I found out about endometriosis and fibroids. So I was already having certain things that I had to say, all right, God, thank you. You allowed me to find out about this prognosis. All right, Lord, thank you. You allowed me to have this surgery before the year is out. All right, Lord, thank you. I made it through surgery. You allowed me to be recovered from surgery. And then even in that moment, thank you, God, you allowed me to see that my body was healed enough to be able to conceive. And even though I am still waiting for that moment where I can say thank you for me being able to conceive again, I'm just thankful that I'm getting to a point of healing where I feel that I'm able to share with others and be optimistic about your future. I still believe that I'm going to be a mommy again one day, and I'm still, as crazy as it sounds, praying for twins. Yes, 2 for 1 special. It may be special to have twins because I know it's going to be a lot of work. But be optimistic and know that whatever's happened to you in this moment or whatever has happened right now is not the end. You can and you will make it through. Now, this part of the episode is specifically for any of the ladies out there who may have actually had a miscarriage and has had to deal with this pain and has had to deal with this grief and have been looking for or trying to find ways to be able to cope. I dove right into the grief. I know that it may have made other people uncomfortable for me to have moments of crying and not knowing why, or to, talk about what was going on a regular basis. But I knew that if I didn't go in it in that moment and I just stuffed it, then it could come up and creep up on me later. And I didn't want that to happen because I want that whenever I do experience being a mom again, that I can truly celebrate it and I'm not still in this deep grieving process. There will always be a level of grief. I am forever changed. I'm not the same person that you saw who was making episodes back in April of this year as I am now. But at the same time, I do believe there's a lot that has changed for the better. And I do believe that me deep diving into that grief is allowing me to be able to push forward and get better day by day. So for one, I know a lot of times babies that are lost are called angel babies. And I love that because I do believe that my baby that I lost is back up in heaven with the Lord. However, one of the things that I read said that it's significant to name your child. And that is what I did. So I came up with a unisex name because at the time I lost my child, wasn't quite sure what we may have lost. And we named our baby Day Michael. And day actually means light, hope, and faith. because I truly believe that that's what that child brought to me in those moments. And Michael means gift from God. And seeing that it was my birthday gift, that I was able to be pregnant on that milestone birthday, I will still always and forever see that as a gift. Another thing that I found helpful was this memorial book that I found called I Love You Still. It's by a woman named Margaret Schofield, and it's basically a book where you can journal, you can add pictures. Here you can see a picture of my sonogram. You can write down different things that you've done to be able to cope. I've added some fun pictures in here to remind me of the times when I was pregnant. And it also just really gives you some questions and some things that you can write to process what you're going through. So that has been very helpful. I Love You Still by Margaret Schofield, right on Amazon. Something else I did, and I actually did it for me and my husband, is I created jewelry. And I actually had a little necklace for me that's in the shape of a heart with the sonogram on it. And it had the date that our baby went back home to be with the Lord. And for my husband, I got him a dog tag. So we both have it. And it was really special and significant because I went to church on Mother's Day and we both wore these under our clothes and had no clue that each of us were wearing it until later. And that was a bonding moment for us, but also a moment to remind us that we're hanging in there. And I also have had a bracelet made that has Day Michael on it and also the date. So those are some ways that whenever I wear it, I'm just thinking of my baby, and it's something that I can always have and look at and cherish even when I'm not wearing it. And last but most certainly not least is journaling. I already love to journal, but I have found that being able to journal and write out my feelings, not just in this memorial book, but also in a real journal, has been super helpful. It has been my chance to be able to express how I'm feeling in the moment, express thoughts that I have, and I even created, at the suggestion of a friend, a journal just for my baby, that whenever I think of them, I can write about them, write things that I would want to say, write feelings that I'm having about them. But journaling and just taking the time to pray, walk, talk, do those things is a really important thing to do. So I hope that for those of you that have experienced this, that this is something that is really, really helpful for you. So what's this week's fake fact? A deferred desire is simply a delayed desire, but it doesn't mean your desire won't come to fruition. Look, if anyone knows, especially in this moment, I definitely know, but I'm so hopeful, and I know that God has bigger and greater for me and for my family that is to come. That is it. I don't have too much more to say. I already know that this episode was way longer than most episodes, and I thank you all that have watched all the way through. Thank you for rocking with me. To the Faith fam, thank you all so much for your love, for your support. Continue to uplift your girl and keep your girl in prayers. I appreciate all of that. I hope that you all have an amazing weekend ahead, whatever you do. I hope that is full of fun. I am so grateful that I made it through this episode without any tears, so that is an accomplishment in and of itself. So I appreciate y'all, and I love you all very much. And you know how we end every show with the motto, baby. Always keep the faith and let the Lord fight your battles. Until next time, take care. Love y'all. Peace.
Want to get a dose of motivation every Friday? Well, hit that notification button to subscribe so you never miss out. And feel free to share the encouragement with a friend. Don't forget, follow me on Instagram at Shani Speaks Now and keep the good vibes going week long. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next Friday.